Hi, shalom everyone. I'm going to continue this fantastic series of the famous Rabbanim of yesteryear. And it happens to be, it's going to be on the 23rd of Av, in a few days' time, at the time of recording, of a chief rabbi of Syria and also Libya, and a very, very great rabbi of Jerusalem himself, Rabbi Hezkia Shabti Z'tl. He was actually born in the English year 1862, and it passed away on Chaf Gimel Av, I believe in the year 1955. So he was at that point in time around 93 years of age. At the time of passing, he became a great rabbi, Shluchei de Rabbanan. He would represent Jerusalem and travel very much all around, especially the North African countries and England and various countries which we're going to touch upon. He became a judge of Bet Din, the head of the Jewish court, respectively. Also, he was part of the Eidah Hasfardit in Jerusalem, also another very prominent position. Also, he became the chief rabbi of Jaffa, and was also the chief rabbi in Tripoli, which is obviously, as we call it in Hebrew, Blov, Libya, and also of Khalab, which we call Syria. Also, and he was also the Chaver Moatzot Rabbanot Rashit, also very prominent positions. Now, friends, he was born actually in Saloniki. Also, we've spoken about other great rabbis of the Saloniki, let's say, contingency, the greatness that they were very much over, especially the 15, 16, 17, 1800s. He was born, his mother's name was Rabbanit Rachel. She happened to be, I believe, the daughter of Rabbi Moshe Milo. Also, and what's interesting, so he was also, I believe, also Rav Shabtai ben Gabriel Yoshua, also, and I believe in the year 1867 it was, so at that stage in time, he was about 12, possibly 12 years of age, he was about 5 years of age at that, or 6 years of age at that time. He moved with his parents to Israel, and they went to dwell in Jerusalem over there, very much so, and he learned in a famous Bet Sefer, as we call it in Hebrew, a school called the Doresh Tzion. I believe this was from 1867 till 1873. At that stage in time, he would be before his bar mitzvah, about 11 years old. And then it was reported over by the age of 13, he learned in yeshiva, I think of the yeshiva, of which was headed by Rabbi Yitzchak Molcho, also, who was a great rabbi. And I believe he was there between the years and then he was there over there till 1874, and then between the years 1874 to 1881, he learned in another yeshiva called the Yeshivat Chesed El, respectively. I believe that was in the old city of Jerusalem, if I'm not mistaken, and learned from really great rabbis of that specific yeshiva itself. And in the year 1879, he must have been about 17 years of age, I believe he got married to Rabbanit Chana Yael. Also, she happened to be the daughter of Rabbi Elazar Mizrahi, who was also a very great rabbi also. I believe there was troubled ships. I think his father passed away in the year 1881, and that stage in time, he was continuing to learn inside this yeshivat El, and then after a period of time, I believe, he went out to make a parnasa, a living, while obviously he was learning much of the day. He was teaching various parts of the Gemara also, so that was a very, very prominent position. And then this was for several year period at that point in time, and at a later stage he would actually represent Jerusalem and actually travel, very well traveled, as a Shadar, Shluchei de Rabbanan, in representing Jerusalem. The community of Hebron also happens to be one of the 4 holy cities in Israel, on behalf of the Bayit Hayitomim Hasfardi, the Sephardic orphanage, I believe, in Jerusalem, which is a very important foundation and organization in Jerusalem. I think in 1888, he actually he started his travels, went to various different places. And in 1891, I believe he went to Bukharia, respectively, and then would later on go to, I think with a time period lapse at that stage in time, I think he was in Bukhara in the year 1891 or something. Later stage, he will do other trips as a Shluchei de Rabbanan. He will travel to Egypt, to Mitzrayim. He will travel to England and also France. And at one point in time, he would also travel to India and Iraq also. Remember, these are very diverse countries and gave him a breadth of many of the people. When you're coming as a shluchai derabanan, you're really mitchazek, strengthening the communities you're going to, also not just raising funds, you're giving lectures, you're giving Torah classes, very much so. And I believe between the years 1896 to 1900, he actually was part of the Rabbanut HaSfaradit B'Yerushalayim, very prominent position. And I believe also then he was also had correspondence and was working together in a colossal Torah book of the Ma'am Loez, I think on the book of Shemot, with another great rabbi, Rabbi Nachman Batito, who happened to be a Rishon LeZion and a chief rabbi in Israel, respectively. And I think in the winter of 1900, if I'm not mistaken, he was appointed a deputy of the Bashi of Jaffa, which is a prominent position. I think he kept this position, if I'm not mistaken, for a 4-year tenure. And I think afterwards he, which was very, very prominent. Then afterwards he would actually go out and live in Tripoli, naturally, as we call it, Lov, that is called Libya in English also. And over there he was appointed, I believe, a Bashi over there, a position he would keep for a 4-year period till the year 1908. And I think possibly his tenure was shortened because at the time there was an invasion of Italy. I think at the time of the hands of Italy, but I'm not too sure, of Tripoli Libya at the hands of Italy. And in 1908, he was actually moved to Syria, to Halab, as we call it, and was appointed, I believe, the Chacham Bashi there, also the chief rabbi over there. And this was a position he kept for 18 years and really, really did a lot to strengthen the Jewish community over there. In many different aspects, very much. He made, I think, orphanages there, more schools there, and I think he actually went to travel also very much to Europe, representing the country itself. And I think there was, obviously, during that time period, I believe there was the First World War also, which obviously left a huge devastation at that time in the world during that point in time. But it was an 18-year period. He was, I think, during the First World War, I think the local government at that point in time wanted to make use of an ancient Jewish synagogue for the army and moved it, even, I think, reported over various different Jewish sites also, which to different locations also. But I think Rabbi Shabtai really fought against this, and the synagogue was not used as an army base of any sort. And I think they even wanted to use the cemetery at the end, but that was not. He really fought against that happening over there. I believe in the year 1921, if I'm not mistaken, he actually went to Argentina, to Buenos Aires over there, also on a shlichut. I think it's raised money with regards to the various orphanages in Syria, respectively. I think Syria and Argentina had a very close connection, which we've spoken about also before. I think Rav Shabtai Buchbot also appointed him to a prominent position. Also, he happened to be a Bet Din in Jaffa. And I think in the year 1924, eventually, he would actually return from his shlichut, and he was put back inside his prominent role afterwards also, which is very interesting enough. And I think in the year 1940, once he had already been well established back inside Jerusalem, he was appointed the Chaver Moatzot HaRabbanot HaReshit. This was a very prominent position, if I'm not mistaken. He was also part of the Bet Din HaGadol, large Jewish court over there, and was an of Bet Din, also the head of the Jewish court in Jerusalem. In the year 1943, he founded in Jerusalem the Yeshivat Sharei Orah, very, very great yeshiva also over there. Now, what's interesting was, I believe his daughter, Rabbanit Rachel, very interesting enough, she happened to, his daughter Rabbanit Rachel, as we said before, was the wife of a famous Jerusalem publisher, Shlomo Israel Shir Rizli. I think we mentioned his family before. I think his brother was Rabbi Gabriel Shabtai also, and his brother's son was Rabbi Hanania Gabriel also, who was also another great rabbi, a head Bet Din also, and a president of the Rabbinate Council of Egypt, of Cairo, respectively, also. And there's commemorations after him. I believe there's a neighborhood, a street named after him in Ramot, which is obviously a big honor also. Now let's explore some of his publications also. He did many great works, including the Divrei Hezkiyahu, which was, I think, put into 2 halakim. The first halak was Chidushei on different topics with Andrushim. I think, printed in Jerusalem. Also, the second chelek was a composition of She'elot and Teshuvot, questions and answers, also printed in Jerusalem. Then there was a Megillat Sefer, also which was contrast, the Rosh L'Siyum K'tivat Sefer Torah, with regards to writing of Sefer Torah. Then the Takvot Shel Yosef, which was the translation, Targum, Shel Chibur B'Nosa Mechilat Yosef, with regards to selling of Yosef, and very, very prominent, and very, very interesting also. And he passed away, as we stated before, in the year 1955 on Chaf Gimel Av, which happens to be this week, I believe. He was buried in the Sanhedria cemetery in Jerusalem, based in Jerusalem also, which was, let's just explore just remind one more time, the great rabbi, one of his students, actually, interesting enough, was Rabbi Camus Nech Isi, who's another great rabbi, I believe we have spoken about at one stage in time. He would actually go on to, he passed away in the year 1965, and he was a head of Libyan Kihila, also in Tripoli, in Libya, respectively, also, and he himself was a judge also. So please don't forget to light candles in the great rabbi's memory. Friends, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. We have covered more than 330 rabbis, I believe. I'm wishing you all a good day, and brachot from Israel. Take care.